A new report comes out from the ABC. The former Newman government of Queensland killed off a popular climate change company called Ecofund. The Queensland former Newman government sold the state-owned company combating climate change despite being told in confidential briefing that it was a profitable, cash flow positive standalone entity, whose revenues were set to double. The ABC goes on to further report this entire matter. In 2012, the coalition cabinet raised a gang known as the Budget Review Committee set out to destroy the Ecofund Queensland. Despite being told that the revenue from the Ecofund Queensland would be forecast to be 40 million, the government sold it for $250,000. And the report goes on to state this more. There was actually a lot of growth in the industry. And the first time the state-owned company made a profit of $2 million in 2009. In 2010, it was $13 million. In 2011, it was $17 million. And onwards and onwards, it's forecast to be a growth of $21 million the next year and $40 million in 2014. That's insane. This shows that, if nothing else, the LNP is completely hostile to climate change, or advocacy to stop or reduce emissions to climate change. It also shows that they do not care about budgetary issues. Can you imagine what you would do with 40 million of profit from a state-owned company, one that's barely even starting up? You could fund hospitals, you can fund schools, you can actually, if you cared about the deficit, you could actually reduce the deficit of your shitty state. Now let me go back into the reports a little bit more. The company needed to be wound up, the LNP said. Even the opposition leader of the Labour government, Tim Nichols, who was the treasurer at the time, defended the sale, because otherwise the company would have cost $500,000 for the state. Dude, $500,000 is nothing, especially when you're making a profit of $40 million a year. There's a lot of problems with Queensland. It doesn't have an EPA, an Environmental Protection Agency, unlike Victoria or New South Wales or even South Australia. Queensland also has the lowest or the highest inequality in Australia, I believe. It also has a very strong problems with Aboriginal rights, and the list goes on and on. And the fact that you had a company that, even if you dislike climate change, was being profitable for the state, was so low. That's not just hostile to. That's not just being against climate change. It's being against your own manifesto. If you want to be the party of fiscal responsibility, the Queensland government should have just kept the whole company intact. But we all know. But I think we should explain why they sold it off. Queensland has a history of fighting against any sort of change that the federal government forces or acts upon, whether it be from Aboriginal rights or Gulf Whitlam's attempts for reducing racial discrimination, fighting against it. Until the 1990s, Queensland was openly racist. It was openly terrible. Now, don't get me wrong, Queensland has gotten better, and there have been some good visionaries such as Kevin Rudd who have come out from Queensland. But altogether, this whole article demonstrates what's the problem with it, and what's the problem with the LNP and Labour itself in Queensland. They're so right-wing that they're to the right of the rest of the country. I don't understand why this is allowed to happen. But if that's the case, I just wanted people to know about it.